All right. I'll be live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Red Devils Experience. We are here with the Red Devils recap. Hope everybody is doing well. Manchester United 2, Everton 0. Good 3 points. Well needed 3 points. Some concerns. Definitely for sure. Definitely some concerns with the performance on the pitch that I have. But it was overall we they went there, they did a job at home, expected to win. Can't be too over the top with it, but we were sloppy, we were careless on the ball. Um, we had opportunities that we probably should have scored and we didn't. And I have some concerns because this team is running out of time. Top four is still on because we won this game and it's putting us in a position. And let's see what happens with the other results. Villa has to play Tottenham. If they draw, that could be a 4 pointer for us. So we need to see what happens. But in terms of the match, um, it has to be a much better performance. Before we get into it and dive in deeper, please smash the like button if you haven't already. We greatly appreciate it. Helps us out a lot. So please take 2 seconds of your time. Smash the like button for me. Thank you very much. Get in the comments. Have your say. Anything I say or thoughts on the match or whatever you want, put it in there. Um, I'll try to react to what you're saying if you do. But otherwise, thank you, and let's move on to the match. So I think I think I think we didn't play too bad, but we didn't play great. I'm not convinced by that performance. I'm not convinced by that performance at all. If that was a if that was a different performance, if that was a different team, it wouldn't be great. I think we're lucky that Everton aren't really good. I think we're a bit lucky that Everton are struggling because if I'm gonna be honest, um, we weren't great, and that's not a great performance. That is not a great performance to do. I think a couple individuals had a good performance. I think they did well, but there was so much sloppiness, giving the ball away, especially in the first half. The first half was not great at all. I think Garnacho did excellent to draw two penalties. I think he was probably man of the match based on the fact of that he was the most threatening player. Um, there was a couple things that frustrated me with Garnacho because this was something that came up in my brain when I was watching the game. It was just like, what has happened to this kid? What has happened to this kid? He's being too indecisive. He's being too indecisive with his decisions. It's like he doesn't know when to shoot and when to pass anymore. Um, and that's kind of concerning me because why is that happening? Why is that happening to a kid that when he came on the scene, right, and he was first breaking into the team, he was just full of confidence. He wasn't afraid to take the shots, to have a go, and now he seems less intended on doing so. And I think it's causing him problems going forward. I mean, there was a couple times, he had a few chances, and I'm wanting him to shoot the ball, and he's hesitating to shoot because it seems like he doesn't know if he should shoot the ball or not because I don't know. Is he afraid of the backlash of him not passing the ball? I'm not really sure what it is with Garnacho, but it's a bit concerning. Now I think he was man in the match. I think he was the most threatening player we had. I think he was the most attacking intended player we had. He didn't score a penalty, but he drew both penalties. And actually, I think for the second one, he probably should have gotten the penalty. Obviously went to Marcus Rashford. Obviously, that's a team decision. I think Garnacho said after the match, Bruno is the penalty taker. If Bruno isn't available or Bruno doesn't take the penalty, Marcus Rashford is second in line to take penalties. So I understand, but there was just so much concern for that match of the how we handled it. We were sloppy. If we played a better team, I don't know. We don't win that match if Garnacho doesn't draw two penalties because he individually does individual brilliance, taking on the defenders, being threatening. And not for nothing, the Everton defenders were poor. They were sloppy. Uh, I think we were a bit fortunate. The same player to get two penalties in the same match. I don't think that's ever happened before. So we were a bit fortunate on that end. I still give Garnacho credit for that, right? But it just I can't. That performance did not fill me with confidence. It did not fill me with confidence in any sort of way. Um, and yes, we got 3 points. Yes, top four is technically still alive. Let's see what happens with the other matches with Tottenham and then Villa. That's an important match. The result is important for us. So we did our job, at least the bare minimum. United went out there at home against the shitty Everton team. Went out there, did their job, got the 3 points, and now it's out of our hands, and we got to see what happens in the Tottenham Villa game. I'll do some quick player ratings. We're gonna keep this one really short. I don't want to go too long into it. I don't think there wasn't it was there's not a great deal to speak about because the match wasn't great. It wasn't a great match. I think Everton were poor. I don't think we were that great. I think we were better than Everton and we deserved to win the match because we played better than Everton. But I'm telling you now, if we played that way against City, we're losing 5-0. If we play that way against Liverpool, we're losing 5-0. If we play that way against Arsenal in their current form, we're losing 5-0. We're not scoring a goal. Liverpool aren't giving up those two penalties. Manchester City aren't giving up those two penalties. So it is an absolute concern the performance that they put on that pitch after losing the Manchester derby, and you need to get 3 points. If we didn't get those two penalties, where are the goals coming from? Because we didn't score a goal from open play today, which is another concern. We need Rasmus Højlund back because we don't have a striker. But individually, because I think today is a day for individual review. I think it's a good match. I'm pulling up my ratings. I think the low was again great. I think the low was great. He's been great. I'm loving him there. I think he's taken this mantle on his shoulders. I think he's taken the responsibility on his shoulders. He's trying to lead. The team is down. He's trying to show confidence, and I respect the low. He's a hard worker. And he also adds value to the squad, and he adds value on the pitch, and he's been showing it week in week out. I think he deserves his praise for that. Definitely 110%. Johnny Evans, I just want to say again, absolutely solid from Johnny Evans. This guy has been solid all season. I said it last week for the Manchester Derby match review. I think now you could look at it glass half full, glass half empty sort of thing, right? I think Johnny Evans is besides Rasmus Højlund, right? Because it's Rasmus Højlund, so yeah. But other than that, I think Johnny Evans is the summer signing of the season. He has been solid the whole season. I think he shows his experience. I think he shows his fight, his heart to play for this club, to wear that kit. He's one of the only players, and there's only a very few, maybe like one hand worth, right, of fingers that gets what it means to play for this club. He understands it. And you combine that with his experience of his age and how many matches he's played in the Premier League. He's always calm, he's always cool. He positions himself fantastically well in the box to stop crosses, to stop the shots, to stop runners in behind, to stop the ball from going in behind. And it's I want to give the guy his praise because he deserves it, but at the same time, it's sort of sad from a club standpoint that a guy that was going to retire, that is 30, what is he, 6 years old or something like that, 35, got relegated with Leicester, comes into our team and has been, in my opinion, close to, other than Rasmus Højlund, because Rasmus Højlund is fantastic for us, but our second best summer signing. He has been fantastic for this team. And I think that highlights an issue with the overall club, but Johnny Evans deserves it because Johnny Evans has been playing absolutely fantastic, and I respect this man for everything that he's doing on the pitch. Um, so I didn't give Delo a score, so I'm just gonna say real quick 7.5 for Delo. I mean 7. Sorry, 7 for Delo. Johnny Evans 7.5. Uh, Rafael Varane, I think he was solid. Rafa is always solid. A lot of people, talk about his injury um, record, and I see a lot of people saying that they would move him on, they would sell him. I see a lot of people doing next year lineups that for players that they want Ineos to go get, and then they're putting Rafael Varane on the bench, or they're just excluding him from the squad in total. And I think that's absolutely nuts. Rafael Varane is super quality. I think Rafael Varane is not that injury prone compared to other players. I actually on X I put out yesterday a full thread of Manchester United's entire injury record to focus on the how bad of a medical department we have from 2014-15 season to 2023 to 24 this season. And it lists every single injury, how much the player was out for, what player it was, and a lot of people have mentioned it, and I'm gonna point it out here. Luke Shaw has been injured in every single season, and he's missed more than I think about 10 matches. Now that one season where he broke his leg, I don't hold him accountable for that because that's a horrible injury. It's a rougher injury, and that wasn't more of like a fitness type of thing. It was a bad tackle. Um, and that could have happened to anybody. But every other season, so and people love Luke Shaw. They want Luke Shaw to stay. But yet they criticize Rafael Varane for being injury prone. Well, Luke Shaw is more injury prone than Rafael Varane is. Luke Shaw has been more unavailable for Manchester United than Rafael Varane has. In 10 years, Luke Shaw hasn't completed a single season for Manchester United without a some type of a lengthy injury. So I don't understand why it's okay for Luke Shaw to be as injury prone as he is, and people keep him in the squad, but yet they want to sell Rafael Varane or drop him to the bench and put somebody else over him. Rafael Varane is a world class player. He's a world class defender. The guy is value. Sure, he gets maybe an injury here or there. Maybe he's out for a week or two, but that happens to loads of players. That happens to every player on every team. You know, so I find that argument weird. But for me, Varane 7. Lindelof, I think Lindelof was 6.5. I think he did good. He almost scored a goal. Playing left back again, not his position. So trying to be a little bit generous there, but it just doesn't play to his strengths. But we got to do what we have to do, and I think he's our best option there. Because there's nobody else you would really put there. You know what I mean? Scott McTominay, give him a 6.5. He actually had a couple nice passes during the match, so I think he did all right. I think he did pretty good. Um, for playing for starting. Casemiro I think was unbelievable. I think he was 7.5. Um, he there's nobody in this team that can play uh like he does. There's nobody in this team that does the job he does, and we really need him. Um, and it's hard to make the argument to sell him because he's good, and I don't know if you go down the route of squad building, how would you go down this route of squad building? Because again, for me, I would remove the backup players, keep the likes of Casemiro and Rafael Varane, and then maybe turn them into the squad players and have people that match their ability or are better at a younger age and and move forward from there because I think getting rid of people like Casemiro and Varane does not help us. And I understand the age issue and I understand the resale value issue because if they're gonna stay, they're gonna get older. People are gonna be less likely to pay more money. They are on very good money as well. But listen, out of the people that are at this club that make very good money, I think they earn their money. Um, because I think they consistently put in good performances. I think they have the ability um, that deserves that wage. And there's not a lot of people that deserve the wage that they're on at Manchester United, uh, because they're constantly underperforming or they're overhyped. So you know, I think I for me personally, I think we should keep Casemiro and get somebody younger, 25-year-old. Casemiro can be coming off the bench. Imagine we go from having nobody to having a player like Casemiro coming off the bench to provide support or just be more a little bit more fresher, not playing as much games. Still providing that world class talent in that midfield spot that he does so well. Yeah, I think that's the route to go. Kobe Mainu, I give him like a 6.8. He was there, but in between the 6.5 and the 6.8, I think uh you know there was a couple times he got caught out, but listen, he's still a kid. He still does fantastic stuff on the pitch. Um, he's playing a lot of matches right now. He was substituted, and I think it's probably the right move because we need to make sure that this kid is okay, and need to make sure that this kid doesn't get injured. Remember, he did suffer an injury in the beginning of the season. You don't want to overwork him and suffer some type of an injury, especially with the way we go, where we are suffering a shit ton of injuries. And players are being out for a lengthy period of time. Eric Ten Hag basically calling out the medical staff yesterday, which thank God he did because they are absolutely atrocious. They've been atrocious. Um, we have not had a good injury record for 10 plus years. And I don't know why people think it's Eric Ten Hag's fault that players are getting injured when we've gone through seasons where we've had at least 7 plus players injured, missing 10, 15, 20, 30 matches a season, each season for the past 10 years. This is nothing new. When was the last time we changed medical staff people? When was the last time you heard somebody was hired besides Gary O'Driscoll, who's doing the review? But other than that, previously, when have you heard, somebody was hired to the medical staff? When have you heard that somebody was fired from the medical staff? These people have been here for a while. They've been doing this job, and it's the reason why we're suffering injuries. And we football is moving forward, and players are playing more matches, club wise, internationally. So I think it makes sense to see more injuries because we have the same shit medical department doing the same shit job that they've been doing while players are playing more matches. So it's only being exposed even more. It's only being exposed even more, and they need to rip that medical department up. There's so many areas um in this team, in this club, that need to be ripped apart and done over again. For sure. But that's a different story for another time. Bruno Fernandez, we give him 7.5. Scored the penalty. So he gets a higher rating for that. Match performance was okay today. I don't think he was lacking like he usually has been, right? Because he hasn't really been Bruno Fernandes this season. But I think he did a pretty good job playing in kind of that false nine ish role. And letting Rashford and Garnacho get in behind. So I actually like that tactic. I think it's actually a very good tactic. Um, I was kind of thinking like it kind of sucks that we in a way it kind of sucks that we have I mean we didn't score, right, but we should be scoring because we were creating chances, but it kind of sucks that we have Rasmus Hoyland, because you can't play the way we were playing with Rasmus Hoyland. I like how Bruno is playing that false nine, which is allowing, because it plays to our strengths. That's the reason why. Because Garnacho, Rashford, Anthony, they're not crosses of the ball. They're inside forwards. They like to get inside and have a shot, have a go, right? So playing this way is actually benefiting us in a slight way. Now, the results haven't yielded in terms of goals, right? But they should be scoring because they are creating chances. I mean, Garnacho had like, I lost count of how many chances he had. He should have had like one or two goals for sure, for sure. But yeah, Garnacho for me 7.5. Um, but he gets man of the match for just being the most attacking player. It was, for me, it was close between Garnacho and Johnny Evans. I really want to give it to Johnny Evans too, but um, yeah, Garnacho, without him, we don't win that match as well. He got the two penalties. He was the most threatening player we had. He was the most attacking intended player we had. Um, and if it wasn't for the fact that he hesitated on a couple chances and that he, didn't score the goal, his rating would be way higher. If he added a goal to this performance, he'd be at an 8.5 today. Um, so that's what that would be for. And Marcus Rashford, I give him a 6.5. Um, I think he did all right. But I expect a lot more from Marcus Rashford. And he needs to he needs to step it up. I don't think he did terrible. He got the penalty. But he needs to be providing more. He needs to be providing more. I know he could do more. I know he knows he could do more. Um, so it is what it is. And before we end it, just gonna see any quotes from the manager, somebody, Ten Hag on Garnacho. He is very brave and confident. Our job is to push him to high levels. He has high potential. When you are young, you don't know what it means to perform at a high level every third game. Um, yeah, I agree with that statement. It makes sense. You have to guide these players. That's why they are young. Um, I think they understand, but sometimes you don't really understand when you're that young. But he is confident. He is brave. I think he is pretty mature for his age. I don't think he is acts like a normal. What is he? 19 years old. Um, Ten Hag also saying, "I love to work with Alejandro Garnacho. He likes a challenge." Um, yeah. What manager wouldn't? That's what you want. You want players that like a challenge. You want players that are there to fight. You want players that are warriors, that have mentality. I think Garnacho shows that. I wish there was more players at Manchester United that show that. I don't think we have enough. I think we have a few, and I think one of our problems is we don't have enough. I think the majority is not that. I think the majority is the opposite of that, which is our big problem. Um, he also went on to say about Garnacho, it's about him. If he could keep focus and put it in the right effort in games and also in the week, when he keeps this attitude, he will improve from game to game. Young players in the week, you win your game. So I like that. Talking about Garnacho, giving him some praise. In the past, he was a little reluctant to give him some praise, right? And I kind of get that because sometimes when you give people compliments, it goes a little bit to their head and they relax a little bit. And I don't think he wants him to relax. He wants him to keep pushing because he sees the potential of Garnacho, and he sees how important Garnacho is to Manchester United in this team. And he needs him to keep pushing. He needs him to keep improving. 110%. Bruno speaking, a couple things. Rooney said United were better in the second half than the first, which I agree with because I think we were shit in the first half. We were sloppy. There was more control. We deserved to win, but it wasn't a great game. I think Rooney very kept it very simple, but 110% spot on. The first half was disgusting to me. I don't know what the hell we were doing. Just giving the ball away, doing all types of sloppy shit. Nobody knew, who to pass to. The word dysfunctional was coming to my head while I was watching that. The second half they cleaned it up a little bit more. They did a little bit better. But we deserved to win, and it wasn't but it wasn't a great match from both sides. It wasn't a great match. It wasn't a great team performance from Manchester United, and it wasn't great display by Everton either. So but I think we're gonna end it there. Thank you guys for tuning in. Just gonna check to see if anybody dropped any comments down below because I didn't want to miss nothing, and I don't see nothing here. So thank you guys very much for tuning in. We will catch you on the next one, and we will see you guys later. Thank you.